Hey ho, and let's talk live about Bryan Kohberger's. Okay, let's talk about Bryan Kohberger. Now his aunt, when y'all about time did y'all reach this live? I didn't know I was gonna go live. I've been asleep all day, but when y'all wake up in the morning, please leave your reaction in the box. Okay. Now this live is about Bryan Kohberger's aunt. His aunt. Some things that she said about Bryan Kohberger, not saying that he is the alleged killer, not saying he's the alleged killer. Okay, I study Bryan. I study Bryan, and Bryan reminds me of someone who had behind their mental health, their mental issues, uh, and but I just still has a question. I still have a question. Now I can understand him have health issues. Okay, I can understand. Most of us have mental health issues. Illnesses and things that we can't handle. With our anxiety, with the depression, and with whatever we're going through with our studies, with our life, and things that we do. You know, There are a lot of people that is in the closet of what they'll do. They'll hide behind the bushes mentally and do things that they done in the future. Usually when you in college, you focus on your classes and stuff, but when you get around a certain mode of kids in college, if you can get in the wrong group. And the wrong group can have you doing something that you ain't never did before in your life. Now, I've been noticing Bryan is not my killer, but he is my conspiracy. Somebody that I think that knows what's going on. You know what I mean? I think he in a group. Hey, what's up? I just feel that Bryan Kohberger is in a group, and it's a group of them, and those his buddies, and and he does exactly what they do. Now, some things that I found out from the aunt. I'm gonna let y'all see the video in a minute. I'm not in no hurry, but it's some things that the aunt said about him that I think I've been asking y'all this for the longest. But so happening, I was looking on YouTube, looking at all, I'm an entertainer, so I love to sing. So I was looking at young people singing and older people singing. I love singing, period. I can sing a little bit too. Um, so Bryan been on my mind, and I've been trying to block from talking about him. I've been trying to dodge from talking about Bryan Kohberger because I glanced at one of the investigators that was on trial, and he didn't know nothing. He didn't bring nothing to court with him. He wasn't prepared. He said that he said some things because the lady asked him to say it. The prosecutor told him to say that. Okay. Now the aunt in this case said that Bryan used to be on drugs, mushroom, heroin, all that, all that bad stuff. I ain't gonna say good stuff. All that bad stuff. And I noticed that since he been going to court, he calmed down off of what he was on. But I don't really. I think that Bryan let some. I just don't. I'm not saying that he wouldn't do this, But I don't think you can't put that in the past nobody because everything went on in that house. It's a lot went on in that house. And it's so hard to say that he's responsible for killing them kids because Bryan walked side to side, y'all. Hey, baby. Bryan Kohberger walked side to side to me. He walked, wobble when he walked, okay? And to have that to me a disability, I feel I see I'm not a reader or nothing like that, but I see somebody with a disability that hang out with the wrong people, with the wrong crowd. And somebody got hold to his car. Either if they didn't get hold to his car, it don't been time when I don't be in the club and I let my friends borrow my car. And but be back on time, be back in time to pick me up. You know, be back in time to pick me up. But I'm not something about Bryan that I knew he had a mental health issue when I paid attention to him. And he has calmed down a lot since he got off of it. His eyes one minute like when they first picked him up, it was about to pop out. But if somebody his height were coming out that door, they would have saw him. Now, let's get to the aunt. Let's look at this a little bit. Down, break it down.
Brand new details were just released that gives us insight into quadruple murder suspect Bryan Kohberger. Kohberger's alleged aunt is breaking her silence on the horrifying case out of Idaho and revealing more details about what may have led up to the...
And Bryan is he is angry, y'all. I see it in it's something wrong with him. He angry. I can tell how he looked. And you know what concerns me is how much talking is he doing to his how much talking is he doing with his attorney? Cause Bryan didn't want to talk, he wanted to stay silent. Now anytime somebody want to stay silent, they know a lot. They know a lot what's going on. And I have looked at a lot of people that know Bryan Kohberger said, "Oh, I can't believe he did that." I can't believe he did that either. I don't even know him. I just want to know why did he do it? What were his motives for all four of them? I didn't think that it's somebody that know all four of them that it was done to, that somebody did this to. But let's get back to Bryan. Look how Bryan rolled his eyes with his, when he reacts, he roll his eyes. I can go into a silent mode like Bryan and listen to you. I don't want to talk to y'all. So how is he communicating with his attorney? But when he go behind them bars in the room, he's talk. He talk. He does crazy stuff. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it he always seemed cool to me? To me too, Clay. Clay, I'm not lying. He just seemed like it seemed like he cool, but they weren't cool with him. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It looked like it seemed like they wasn't cool to Bryan. They took the advantage of he's so smart until he dumb. Have y'all ever seen them people like that? They have too much knowledge, but they ain't got the street knowledge. And you can get over and manipulate these kind of people. But now don't let Bryan fool you though. Okay, let's
the tragic killings. The aunt, who remained anonymous, spoke to the U.S. Sun and said she struggles to watch the news as detectives reveal facts from the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. Prosecutors say Kohberger fatally stabbed 4 University of Idaho students, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonzalez inside their off campus apartment in Moscow, Idaho. The medical examiner said based on their wounds, they were attacked in their sleep. Kohberger.
Okay. Now, do you think he'll be that crazy? But people do these days. They are doing things that we got to believe that this they do it. But I don't believe he did it. But I'm saying that I believe that some people that he will know something that he hangs with. Okay. Now, uh, Bryan knows, but the people who he's around, he don't talk. He's somebody that you can trust and will not tell. So you need to go back to his sister. Now we're gonna still listen to the aunt. I'm not in a hurry. Been asleep all day. Now, sister did a scary movie. I love scary movie, but she created a scary movie. Now Bryan did something that he can make a movie out of. He ain't did. I'm gonna put it like that. He didn't. He was allegedly accused of doing something that we don't know if he did or not. Now I ain't got to that yet. Right. Now, wait, boo. I love you, but come. Let me focus on this. Let me focus on this. That's one thing that when I do when I put my focus on something. I want to focus on this. I'm gonna get to the sister later with you, baby. Um, yeah, the sister, one who I'm talking about. I drive. The sister is the one I'm talking about. The sister. The sister is the one that I just brought up, and it coincident that you brought up the sister. I brought up the sister because the sister likes scary movies, and like I said, I don't think it's something about that family. It's something about their family. But I'm not saying he did this, but I think that he's in a group that involved himself around them, and I believe that it's a group. It's a group of them, and they're not going to tell on each other. Now the sister been in my mind for a long time, and for some reason, that's why I ask y'all. That's why I ask people, how you know it's not a girl? How you know a lady didn't do this? How you know a transgender person didn't do this? Why do it have to be a man that did this? Why it could have been a woman did this? They are all cold. See, they're right. You're right. They all are cold. They together, and I tell they don't know if a woman did this or not. Cause the girls ain't that hard. They were struggling. Kaylee was struggling, fighting back. She was fighting back with a man like this. This man ain't got no muscles. What's it? What? We don't know who it was. It could be somebody in the neighborhood. The house was too open just to say, I believe Bryan saw something, Bryan knows something. Okay, let's keep going.
Wasn't arrested for weeks, but investigators eventually tracked him down over the holidays to his parents' home in Pennsylvania, thousands of miles away from the crime scene. The case and the major arrest made national headlines, and Kohberger
Look at Bryan. Look at Bryan. Look at Bryan. Look at Bryan. Bryan is doing what he is told to do. Bryan, in the group that he's in, I think it's like I say, he's too calm and collected to be a college student that's so smart and not concerned about what's going to happen to him. You know what I mean? He's too laid back for me. If he were that smart and educated like he wouldn't have left that what you call it, y'all? What you call it? I drive that they had found a little blood on. He wouldn't have left that. He's too smart to leave that little He is he told to play. Yeah. I tried. What's the name of the thing that they put? I can't even think that they put. Yeah, that sheep. That man He's a lawyer. He practiced law, criminal crime. He wouldn't have left that there. He would have known not to left that there. He would have known to go back and pick it up. He didn't even think that he didn't even care. He know he took that gun. He know he took it out of something. Why he ain't put it back into something? Y'all got to look at all of that. He know it wasn't on his hip anymore. Why is it under uh not Kaylee, but the other girl? What why is it under her, on the side of her? That ain't something ain't right about that. Something ain't right about that. Was it two people? Was it three people? Was it one people? Who was it? Either who was left in that house? Who was hiding in that house? How can they say somebody broke in that house and the house stay open? How? Somebody could have left that door open for the person to come in. I don't think nobody broke into that home. I believe they walk in there like they always do. It's an open house. Okay? And no telling, you know what college students do. You know they do drugs. No, these are my thoughts. Okay? I'm saying that somebody could have been in the house. Could have been already in the house. How are they going to say that somebody came into that house when everybody? Thank you. Like they come in and how they do drugs, and don't nobody want to bring up drugs in this. They don't want to bring up that these kids are on substances because they in and out the door. They in the people's house when they ain't even at home. Y'all got to think outside the box on this. Now, these are college students. And fun. So I'm just saying, could somebody have already been in the house? Okay, if they weren't already in the house, why is the door unlocked? Because the doors stay unlocked. Okay, let's finish. But check Bryan out. Bryan is concentrating too easy, and I think a professional in this, and I know it's political, and it's something about what them girls know, and they couldn't let them go. And Kaylee was getting ready to graduate. She was gonna leave. They can't let them go like that. They can't let them go, y'all. They couldn't turn them loose like that. No, everybody moved out. You had the other girl who moved out. Why she moved out? You had a boy that moved out. Why he moved out? Then one of the dad or somebody changed the locks. It's a lot that we slowly had. And guess what? In the prosecution teams, the prosecutors don't have no evidence. They can't prove this. They can't prove. They have no reasonable doubt that he did this. Hey, it was another white car that looked like Bryan's car. It was another car that looked like it had been wrecked. Okay? It was at first, when they first said it, they said that a car was similar to his. What did Bryan see? What do Bryan know? He got other friends, y'all, can be in the dark. He can be in the dark. He tried to do a study, okay? Let's go.
National headlines, and Kohberger was extradited back to Idaho. Few details about the case have been released due to a gag order in effect that prevents attorneys, law enforcement, and others associated with the case from talking about it. Now, Kohberger's alleged aunt is speaking out, saying she was at a loss of words when she heard about what her nephew was accused of, and said she isn't ruled.
Listen. The aunt said she was in a loss of words. The nephew is accused of what her nephew was accused of doing. Now, Bryan always hang with the wrong game. He always hang with the wrong people. The wrong people like to have fun, y'all. And then, Why this night? Why this night? And then, and I believe those four kids were targeted. And the reason why I said those four kids were targeted, because they don't been in that house before. They knew where they slept. They didn't even check the other two girls. They didn't check the other two girls. And why Dylan? I still have that question on my mind. Dylan called, she was so scared. What you call the friends for? Why you didn't call the police? Because you know the police weren't gonna believe nothing you said. But to me, they want to believe they ain't got enough evidence to prove that this man is their killer. They ain't got enough evidence. And Bryan is protecting somebody. Bryan is protecting somebody, y'all. I'm serious. Is he protecting his sister? Is he protecting his cousin? Do he have a half brother somewhere? Do he have somebody he close to? He protecting somebody, and he promised her, "I'm not gonna get you in trouble." Allegedly. See, it's a whole lot that we got to figure out. That's why the prosecutors, they can't figure nothing out, and they not even supposed to hide nothing from the defense team. Now the aunt just told y'all, wow, she knew he was on drugs and stuff. He once upon a time was on drugs. Then he finished school. Girl, that's why I think they were both downstairs the whole time. Look. Oh, you think so? Look. They said in the beginning. Now, in the beginning, they didn't say that. In the beginning, they said that Dylan and Bethany slept. Bedroom was downstairs. He said that Dylan bedroom was downstairs. Dylan and Bethany. They said Bethany slept on one end of the house, and they said Dylan slept on the other end of the house. Now, why is Dylan up on the same floor that they came in the door? I'm not saying she had nothing to do with it. Okay, let's finish with what the aunt said.
Ruling out that he is responsible for the tragic murders. His aunt explained to The Sun there had been a lot of drama in the family around the time of the murders, which couldn't be elaborated on for legal.
Look, y'all, listen to what she just said. The aunt said it was a lot of things going on in that family, around the family at this time of the murder. It's a lot of things were going on. Listen to what they said. The tragic murder has unexplained to The Sun. There had been a lot of drama in that house. If it was a lot of drama in that house, Bryan went and chilled out with his friends. I used to, in the summertime, drive at night on the highway just to get out the house and enjoy. It was so hot. I didn't want to be in the air conditioner. I just want to get out and get me some fresh air. But she wasn't in Bethany's room because Dylan said she was upstairs. I believe Dylan was downstairs. I'm like you. Because that's what they said in the beginning, right? Okay, Rainey, I may pronounce your name wrong. No, I drive. That's what they said in the beginning. That no girl was in the room together. The uncle twin in Vegas, controversial there. Some accused the other of killing. See? Y'all own it. Y'all own it. Now see, the aunt telling y'all something. A tragedy murder. It's unexplained. The aunt telling y'all what's going on in that family. There's a lot going on in that family, y'all. But I'm still not saying Bryan is my killer. But they trying to throw us out. The detective trying to throw us off at the very beginning of this case, and I will hear it from day one. Bethany and Dylan was downstairs together. They were so scared. They did not come out of their room. That's what they told us at first. That's right, Rainy. They said that Bethany and Dylan was so afraid they didn't come out of their room for nothing. Now they want to act like that Dylan was on that same floor. I don't believe Dylan was on that same floor. I believe they telling a lie. I don't believe them. I believe that the detective is hiding something. Brad saw something. Brian knows something. Brian knows something. If you can't stop it, and then they stopped Brian two times on the highway. And the first thing I said, why is they keep on stopping that boy like that? That because they trying to let him know that we watching you. He got stopped by that officer. He said when he was up on the traffic light, and he said, "But what I supposed to do in the middle of the street? You say I can't back, so what I need to run the light?" That's what Brian did. But he got in trouble for that. Then that divorced for a reason. She know that's right. That's right. And was she feeling the unfeeling sorry for him? Now go back to what I was saying with the car. Uh they kept following Brian. The police keep stopping Brian. They stopped and pulled him over about three times. They let Brian know we see you, boy. We see you, and you better keep your mouth shut, cause we own you. But they didn't say that. They didn't say that. But they showed him that we are watching you. So whatever going on, we know. And when I looked at his daddy looked strange to me. They remind me of the house. What's that scary movie with all them people in that house? They could have grabbed his DNA. They did. That's what I said. That's what I said. The chainsaw, Texas chainsaw. They remind me of that family like that. But they really won't show the family that much.
Drama in the family around the time of the murders, which couldn't be elaborated on for legal reasons. She says even before Kohberger's arrest, she had not spoken to his parents, but said their worlds were turned upside down.
Listen.
When Kohberger was younger, his aunt said,
Listen. Their world is turned upside down. What make you think his world not turned upside down? I don't care if he is how smart he is. His world is turned upside down. Yeah, because their world turned upside down. All we know, none their family could have did it. We don't know. But this is the aunt talking. Say that their world is turned upside down. When Kohberger was younger, she about to tell y'all something. They don't like that aunt talking. See, they want that the aunt to shut up. Yeah, the Texas chainsaw.
as he and his family would fly out to Vegas, where she had been living. She said when he was younger, the eventual murder suspect was shy and humble, but also described him as a troubled teenager. She claims,
okay, y'all heard it? He was shy and humble. And when you're in college, you're still young. You're still young. I was 18 in college. And then when I graduated, I think I about 22, 23. 20, let me see, for 4 years. About 22. But she said he was shy and humble. Somebody took advantage of that boy. Y'all don't know who had Bryan car, who was in Bryan car, where his destination, why he turned out the phone. They want to put the focus on Bryan because something going on. And I think a professional, a teacher involved in this, an officer involved in this, and family members. But Bryan didn't do it. The way Bryan just come in that room, look at Bryan. Bryan wobbles. Look how he come in that room. I always look at the way he walk. Look how he walk.
She said when he was younger, the eventual murder suspect was...
Look how that man walk, y'all. It's embarrassing that they didn't even seem to pay any mind to female DNA. That's what I'm saying. How we know? How we know these strong? It's some women stronger than men's. And whoever this person is, he sure protecting them. But why they targeted them? They targeted those kids. They targeted kids. It's a group. It's a group. And they don't like, it's something about them kids. We don't know who did this, y'all. Because the reason why I said we don't know who did this because all four of those kids know who this is. It can be their family member. It can be anybody cousin, anybody niece, nephew, or in their family. You don't never know who did this. But I tell you one thing, Bryan them saw it. Bryan them saw it. Bryan them saw what went on.
Was shy and humble, but also described him as a troubled teenager. She claims he suffered from depressive episodes, and while she was told he was on medication,
Look at that. Depression, y'all. You cannot mix, if you on depression medicine, you cannot mix that with alcohol and drugs. You cannot mix, they said depression episodes. And while she was told he was on medication, that Bryan, you could tell Bryan on medication. You could tell he on medication. You could tell he know what he doing. He's smart. You could be smart and on medication, but if you on medication, if you take medication and you're depressed, and you take medicine for depression, you cannot mix medication and drugs together. I still didn't say Bryan did this.
she wasn't sure what he was prescribed by doctors. The alleged aunt also revealed she suspected Kohberger was taking drugs as a teen after falling into the wrong crowd. She claimed it was no big secret he was allegedly into the drug scene, but says she was concerned he was taking the drugs to deal with mental health issues.
Hold on, let's look at this. Let's go back and look at what the aunt said. Let's go back and let's look at the aunt said. She said she suspected he was taking drugs at the time, as it has previously been reported. He became a big heroin addict after falling in with the wrong crowd. And guess what? Bryan cool. Bryan hang with the wrong crowd. He's still hanging with the wrong crowd. His aunt says he was no big secret. It was no big secret. He was into the drug scene. And she was concerned he was also doing cocaine, mushrooms, drinking hard liquor, and popping pills to deal with a mental health issue. You cannot do this stuff. And when you got mental issues and you taking pill medication, you're in another zone. He looked like he had a nervous breakdown. So you got to ask yourself, who are these people that he associate with? He always hanging with the wrong crowd. And it's easy to be that way when you're in college. She hoped he had gotten clean and believed he had an interest in criminology as others in the family studied forensics. Look, the other people in the family studied forensics. They know about all this. They know what to do, how to act, what they're going to look for, and they know to shut up. They know to be quiet. Long as you don't talk, and that's why I wonder, what is he saying to what is he saying to his to his lawyer, and he don't talk. At first, he wasn't talking to the lady. Y'all remember? At first, he wasn't talking to his attorney. He wouldn't say nothing to that man. Then he got her. He had a little fake smile when he gave her when he first sat down. Bryan was told to be quiet. So you need to ask yourself, who is behind this? That don't been in that house before and know who he is. Okay? We don't know who these girls know. Because they said, Katie said, not Katie, Madison said, she was frustrated about every time they turn around, they get a call. Okay, I'm gonna call it like it is. He did get a lady a fake smile when he sat down. I know them smiles. Yes, he did. Maybe he was close with Aunt Cos family. Became that's right. That's right. She hoped he hadn't gotten. She hoped he had gotten clean, and believed he had an interest in and had an interest in criminology, as others in the family, y'all, studied forensics. These folks smart, and some of his uncles have a military background. Whoa, I didn't know this part. Whoa, whoa. Now, you have to ask yourself, if the uncle has a military background, we wouldn't know nothing about that until the aunt told us about that. His uncle have a military background, and the family studied forensics. Now, why did they target those 4 kids? Why did they target those 4 kids? Now, I know the sister would be so happy to make a movie, allegedly now, would be so happy to make a movie out of this. Wow, I did not know that Uncle had a military background, y'all. Now, you need to ask yourself, is Uncle a drug addict? Is Uncle a drug addict? Is there any whatever going on in his family? They the one with the problem. And Bryan gonna hush. It's somebody that he's protecting in their family that he really like. He had like he should, but his mental health, they weren't gonna accept him. So he took another route. He took the route that the family took, forensics, criminology. And she said she hoped he had gotten clean and believe he had an interest, believe he had an interest, believe he had an interest in criminology. Somebody could have made that boy took up criminology. He might didn't even want to take up criminology.
Concerned he was taking the drugs to deal with mental health issues. Kohberger's alleged aunt also disclosed to The Sun she had hoped he would clean up his act as he began to have an interest in criminology, a similar pathway for other family members who also studied forensics. And he did. Kohberger eventually became a PhD candidate at Washington State University, a less than half an hour drive from the crime scene in Moscow, Idaho. Kohberger's aunt says she hadn't seen her nephew in more than 5 years before his arrest.
5 years before his arrest. Boy, and how y'all got to ask yourself, how close is he? How close is he to his family? How close is he to his uncle? How close is he to somebody? Bryan was going through a whole lot at that time. I don't think Bryan would have came in there and killed them like that, y'all. I'm not gonna put nothing past nobody, but I always say, that's like what you hear people say about spies and agents. Yeah. I'm just saying, this is scary. But the aunt talk. Why they ain't getting no? Why they ain't no? Aunt need to get understand.
Kohberger's parents and 2 sisters have reportedly shown support for the murder suspect and believe he is innocent. However, his sisters were fired from their jobs earlier this year over.
Why are they fired from their job? Why they fired from their job? Bryan ain't did nothing. Bryan ain't did nothing to them. Thank you, I drive. That Bryan ain't did nothing to them. Why they fired from their job earlier this year? Why are both of those girls fired from their job? Just because my brother did something, I ain't got fired by stuff. I ain't get fired by a lot of things. Huh. And his eyes just like he buck his eyes just like do he supposed to be wearing glasses? Why would he do that crime when he could wait until he was officially a law enforcement and finish school and could have vastly more access and ability to commit and get away with crime? That's right.
For their relationship with the alleged killer. Kohberger's alleged aunt thinks her nephew will be found guilty when the case eventually goes to trial, although he has maintained his innocence and is.
Wait a minute, Auntie. The auntie think that he gonna be. I think he if Bryan don't open up that mouth for his and he want to remain silent, Bryan know who involved in this. Bryan, if the family that bad like that, y'all, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? And why are we looking at it? And why did he target it? He didn't have to kill the girl that who they alleged said he was stalking, but we don't believe none of that they say because they can't even prove nothing he do. He can't be found guilty if they don't have enough evidence. The state is hiding evidence. The phone records just ain't gonna just I can turn my phone off when I don't want to be bothered with people. I get in my car and I turn my phone. I just turned my phone back on. I turned it off because I wanted to charge my phone up. You can't only just go by him just turning off his phone. All we know, it could be teachers involved, professionals involved. It could be a political thing, the election coming up. A whole lot of folks is in this. A whole lot of people in this. And like I say, the cases that we do over here, all of them are political. It's time to vote. We got to find out. And then they were so quick to tear their house down. What was the reason of tearing the house down? What was the purpose of tearing that house down? I ain't never seen no blood come out no walls unless it was Amityville Horror. Y'all see this? This is like a scary movie. Sure is, Raymond. I always said it. I always said it because he was up on his car was on the campus. That don't mean that he was in the car. I don't left my phone in the car before. I don't left my phone in the car before. Somebody could have bought that man could have been at a club or whatever. If he was in his car, he would ride around. He was in his car and ride around. One minute they say he was at a club. This is crazy. And the only thing I don't understand is the timeline. The timeline has really thrown me off.
Thinks her nephew will be found guilty when the case eventually goes to trial, although he is.
She think that he gonna be found. I think he gonna be found guilty. Bryan wouldn't care because Bryan knows something. I always say he knows something, but I just don't. I just don't think that he was y'all killer. I don't know why. That's right. Cause I don't understand why. And then and it's like a whole lot of things came in my mind about the way them police who were popping up over in the house. You telling kids who 19 and 20, I don't mind y'all drinking and using, you know what, we ain't gonna get in y'all business and what y'all do, but just turn the music down. What police officer gonna tell 19 and 20-year-old children that? They ain't know enough to be drinking. And you gonna tell them that you don't, it's okay, we don't care nothing about y'all drinking or nothing like that. Just turn the music down. Cause y'all, in other words, y'all distracting the neighbors. Man, you'll be surprised.
Maintained his innocence and is reportedly confident he will be exonerated. Kohberger's trial was initially set to begin in October, but it got pushed back when Kohberger waived his right to a speedy trial. No new date for his trial has been set yet. However, he is expected to be back in court.
What y'all think? That was so interesting. That right there, that was very interesting. What we just talked about was very interesting. Very interesting. And I was concerned. I was looking at the trial and I was like, what is he saying to that woman? Bryan wasn't even talking, opened up his mouth at first. He wasn't saying nothing. He wasn't saying nothing to her. He ain't saying nothing to him. Bryan in his own little la land because, like the aunt said, the family messed up, y'all. Very interesting. I appreciate everybody being here, but the aunt just said a mouthful. It was a problem. It was something going on, y'all. The whole family screwed up. This is so scary. We don't know who his friend and the guys who we don't know. We don't know. But he ain't gonna talk. And he ain't gonna tell. He ain't gonna talk. He don't care. He ain't gonna talk and he ain't gonna tell. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. Y'all make sure y'all like and y'all share this information. But please, whatever y'all do, hit that like button and get these lights up, man. This just don't make no sense. I love y'all and thank you for participating, okay? I'm out of here.